Do women like muscular men?
There was a recent meta-analysis that just got published on this, and they looked at kind of all the studies on predictors of mating success in all these different ways. And it just sort of is the case, right? In the sense that regardless of what people say is attractive and what isn't, men who are muscular have higher mating success than men who aren't, right? And men who are more bodily masculine in general seem to have higher mating success. And so there's a couple different reasons why that might be. I mean, the first thought is pretty obvious. It's like maybe guys with muscles are just sexier. And there are individual studies where it's like you show women a bunch of bodies and you're like, who's hottest in this crew? And it's like a guy who's more muscular than average and leaner than average, right? Not stage ready bodybuilder, but certainly like pretty high standard, right? There's other studies that don't show that, but there are other ways in which muscularity can help you to compete for mates without making you more attractive. So one route by which this could be the case, there was a really interesting study, which you might have already read. It was the frat boy study. So they studied a bunch of frat boys and they had them rate each other on like who would be the best fighter, who's the most intimidating, that sort of question. I can't remember the scale items they used. And then they had women rate the frat boys as to
David
like,
Putz.
how hot are these guys? And really weird result, how hot the women said the guys were, it wasn't a strong predictor of the male mating success. Now, mating success is very hard to measure. They measured it by number of mates, but at least in that study with those measurements, the intimidation factor was better. It was better than being hot. It was better to be scary than hot. One potential idea is that if you're a super jacked, scary dude and you're talking to a girl at the bar, everyone else is like, all right, that may as well be his wife. I'm not going anywhere near this situation. She's off limits. Whereas if you're a super scrawny guy, maybe not.